Hello, hello. So we're getting to the full moon. This is literally the full moon in Sagittarius, and what it wants you is truth, liberation, laughter, holy fire. And please, fire is not what burns. It's actually and that is pure unconditional love. So we're gonna focus in Bible, which is Paul. Why Paul? Because Paul originally was called Saul, however you pronounce that. And the meaning, background of this specific name, which I explained it before, to understand the Bible, you need to understand what the proper names do mean so you can find more significance in the characters of the story and the transformation. So Saul was, in semantic language, what it really meant was asked for, prayed for. So Saul was the person that asked for and prayed for. And the reason why Jesus named him Paul is simply because Paul is small or humble. And why do we should identify with Paul in this moment? Because greatness is not how much you have. Greatness is how much your soul is willing to acknowledge, be accountable for, and grow from. And something started stirring in my mind today, and I never saw it from the perception of Abba until today. Those who see greatness within you, that have not acknowledged the greatness within you, will often try to steal from you because they see the worth and the value of what you teach or what you speak, and they want to portray having that knowledge because it's something that they may believe will get them into higher places. When I started the challenge, Evil Movement 22, the Battle of Love, the Awakening, I saw this happening left and right. People coming to poke the beehive, trying to get me to act out of character, which is what I believe they were trying to do. And all because in the background, what they were doing is pushing me to become vulnerable and express my discomfort, which turns into disease and then blinds you because you're so focused on what's happening that you forget your mission or the vision that Abba gave you. So when those things started happening, and I saw it as a blessing in disguise, so I can go within and understand that I did have a condition that I had to treat. And I caught off mostly of the interactions. I also discovered a very, very dark web of manipulative people which thought they were entitled to steal without repercussions. Unfortunately, when people do these things, they don't realize how many breadcrumbs they leave out in the open become evident. And I gathered all that evidence for years. Then I decided to put it aside and to the hands of Abba. I wanted not to become they were doing, how they were with, but I wanted to learn, what will Abba say? How would Jesus act? Something like that. And for me, what wins is the unconditional understanding, place of hurt where people think that they may not be as gifted as another, to steal their creativity or their words and use them for themselves without even understanding that the more they do that, they're only showing truly who they are behind the false mask they wear. And one thing that I wanted to keep alive was true authenticity, rawness. Not saying I was the best at the game, but understanding that seeing the game from gives you a better perspective of life and things that happen, for Abba to finally mold your heart into compassion but not pity, and also give you the tools you need to defend yourself, not in front of others, but in silence. The amount of knowledge that I gained with all of this only gives me the right to see not what everybody did against me as a personal attack, but mostly how we all were in need of a little bit of more emotional groundedness, emotional depth, and emotional truth to be fully authentic to who we are. And that is beautiful. That is something that only those who stop feeling victimized by circumstances can gain. Yesterday, for some reason, I was watching a series for the last 2 days, and I understood, and everything came around. The words that were said in private chats were in the series. The artists that against me were the songs for, and that happened just taught me, oh wow, within me, the creativity within me was so good that they wanted a taste. They thought that they could take it from me. And even if they took the wisdom of the words that I shared with them in private, what they cannot take away from me is the authentic heart that Abba gave me. What they will never be able to take away from me is the joy of understanding that the game of life is something that if you don't learn how to play it, then it will eat you alive. And unfortunately, seeing from a bird's eye all that happened just gave me the peace of knowing how great the words I said and I shared with these people who believed entitled to use them for themselves to create riches is actually something that I authentically was born with and nobody can take away from me. So regardless of what happened, I leave all in the hands of Abba, because the only way a true human can see who they are is trusting Abba to show them what they've done. And Jesus said it, forgive them, Father, because they have not known what they've done. So we're going to move along because we're closing a full chapter. And the most beautiful part of closing this chapter is truth, liberation, laughter, and holy fire. I was once mocked because I was asked what I was doing, and I said I was dancing around the house. Person recorded a video dancing like a monkey around the house, which that it told me who was who interaction themselves, who for themselves. I don't compete with anyone because life is not a competition. Life is choices. What you choose to be your downfall and what you choose to be what rises you up like a phoenix is what you truly believe about love. And for me, love is patient, is kind. We need to that when you get mad about something, that's not teaching you to hate others. That's teaching you what you need to heal so you stop conditioning others, do what you want them for you to feel whole or complete. So it's fun. People talk my way that I maintain myself being happy, lucky self, dancing around the house. It's thing ridiculous to do. They need to do is act a bit more of that so they stop being stuck up and they can allow the flow of love within them. The other sanctuary that they don't want to because they is scared of being honest to who they are. So I don't blame any of myself that I once out projection and segregation and do is what's not is what the matrix is to control you. So a very nice full and blessings for you to come based on your good works and not your old patterns. May Jesus fill your life with joyful experiences where the conditions that you were taught you have to live by lose their power so you can truly pick and live a joyful life. May God bless you all. Bye-bye.